Who got the drop, man? Love to everybody surfing the wave. I hope you're just having fun with this. I hope you're able to really enjoy a new perspective, a fresh thought. You know what I'm saying? Hijack free. To look at a mountain and be like, that's mighty interesting. You know what I'm saying? It's a mighty interesting landscape. It's okay to have a fresh perspective. That means that it's happening. You know what I'm saying? Don't sweat the technique. Don't fight order. Get more in order. Eat the right things. You know what I'm saying? Feel good, vibrate. It's very important. You know what I mean? Or else your head just goes backwards on your ass. You know what I mean? This is inspired by my man Arthur Scott Jr. So I'm gonna drop this joint out of Edris. This is in the Sefer. 4 Ezra. So if you got the Sefer, it's Ezra 4. I believe Apocrypha might be 2nd Edris. But you got the drop. And this is inspired by Arthur Scott, man. He's been going deep in his Edris, man. So, he went straight from the 12 patriarchs and started just knocking y'all over the head. Shout out, love to everybody, man. Let's just keep getting it. This is going to be a nice one, man. Going back into the crystals, but now we can think of crystals as trees. Trees as crystals. These large crystal, you know what I'm saying, megaton, joints that they've been pulling out of quarries, right? Crystal mines. These are just trees. So imagine your trees vibrating. Imagine you vibrating on the frequency of this particular crystal, these trees. How high they went, how much frequency was there. So when it's time to cry back to the mountains, when it's time to tell the mountain that you are back alive, you're not talking to the mountain, you're talking to the tree. You're telling the tree it's okay to come to life again. Now I always got to put this in perspective. Because a lot of people just get happy about trees and flat earth and all this stuff like this, I ain't no flat earther. You know what I'm saying? We are not, we're flat earthers. You know what I'm saying? We are prisoners of war. And our focus is on that. Not on this movement or that and this and this. Our movement is being free. It's understanding we've been invaded and understanding what our power is. Not letting anybody hijack us, no matter who and what and how or what. So let's go. Let's get it, man. Love to y'all. Hope everyone had a beautiful Shabbat. Got to vibrate and rest. You know what I'm saying? Just feel good today. Everybody feel good. That's all that's my only command is feel good today, man. Feel good being back in order with the Creator. Feel good coming here, man. Feel good. The Most High can't wait to gather the precious stones. And we're gonna see what He feels and how He remembers and how He understands you. You need to see you the way the Creator sees you. And don't let nobody hijack you, telling you it don't matter or it's all the same. They don't want this true. You know what I'm saying? They don't want this understanding, but let you enjoy it. Don't worry about somebody else, how they deal with truth. You enjoy the truth. That it's your time. It's your time to shine. Your judgment is nearing in, Israel. You can wake up now. Let's go. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? Put on your boots. Let's go. Let's build again. Let's feel good again. It's been a long time. But they knew we'd come back to life. Right? They knew we'd be back. Let's go. This is 4 Ezra, chapter 7. And when I had made an end of speaking these words, there was sent unto me the angel which had been sent unto me the nights before. And he said unto me, Up, Ezra, and hear the words that I come to tell you. And I said, Speak on, my Elohim. Then said he unto me, The sea is set in a wide place, that it might be deep and great. But put the case, the entrance were narrow and like a river. Who then can go into the sea to look upon it and to rule it? If he went not through the narrow, how could he come into the broad? If he went not through the narrow, how could he come into the broad? You, sons of Abraham, Isaac, Yaquah, sons and daughters of Adam, you went through the narrow. If you didn't go through the narrow, how would you get your inheritance? He wasn't going to give it back to you. You had to go through the narrow. You had to earn it back. There is also another thing. A city is built and set upon a broad field, and is full of all good things. The entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand, and on the left a deep water, and one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water. Is that not the scariest damn thing you can think of? Going through an extremely narrow path. On one end, it's deep water, the deepest, darkest waters. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to go in those waters. They just deep. These on this side is fire, blazing. You like, shit, I can't even. That's how we've been having to tread in this kingdom that they set up on our land. The Papal Bull 1452, dumb Diversas, put us in perpetual servitude, perpetually, forever, calling us pagans and Saracens. Dark people that understand their promise. Dark people that understand that there's a promise, that there's an inheritance. Subjugate them. Take them captive. Invade them. Fight them. Siege them. Destroy these people. Take their principalities. Take their energy. Take all the light from their eyes forever. Because when you invade someone, that's forever. That's forever. But our captivity is not forever. And everyone that, wants to get down with our blessing now, the blessing of these Negro, these dark people that have been told that they're from somewhere else, told that they weren't nothing, shot in the streets every damn day, giving a little bit, taking everything from these people and saying, get up and build for yourselves, and then take everything from these people. These people told they spinning. Now that it's all looking good for these people, they're on the rise. Now they can feel our energy. What about me? What about me, Israel? It's about everybody. God loves everybody, see? Our Father is fair. And if you've seen and witnessed our judgment, the logical question is, whose judgment is next? Our Father is fair. You've witnessed a fair judgment. It was fair for you to, damn near wipe us out. But our Father only intends on gathering precious stones. He delights on the precious stones he's going to gather in the end. Is it for everybody? That's what they teach us, right? Remember, they flipped you upside down. So you might want to hear and feel and vibrate. As we get back into Worlds Beyond the Pole, we always got to do a gut check and bring it on home. Let's not get to all the way this and all the way that. We always got to know what the source is, what the energy is. We can't boast anything above our Creator. We always come back home, and therefore His children, His inheritance also has order, dominion over all creation. Let's get it, though. So it's as if that, he's saying it's a dangerous place to fall. The road is narrow, like as if there were a fire on the right hand and on the left, deep water, and only one path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could be one man, but one man go there at once. So that's how small and narrow it is. One man at a time can, make this trip, this journey. Even between the fire and the water, so small that there could be one man go there at once. If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, Israel, how shall we receive this inheritance? Again, if this city, you, I'm talking to you, Drop Nation, you, if this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, right? You have an inheritance. If he never shall pass the danger set before it, so if you never went through the trials that you've gone through, your forefathers went through, you are a remnant. You're a miracle, man. To be alive, you are a miracle. To not have been cut off, you are a miracle. So if you had never gone through, you know what I'm saying, the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? And I said, it is so, hey, then said he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion, because for their sakes I made the world. Christians read the Bible and they just get a whole nother message because that's what's taught to them. They don't get anything concrete. They just get the abstraction of God loves everybody. What message does that benefit? You or your oppressor that invaded you and took everything from you and told you Christ or die, nigga. Christ or die. But it says right here in Esdras 4 Esdras chapter 7, because for their sakes, whose sake? That which is called Israel, that which is called the descendants of David, the descendants of Ephraim, the descendants of Yahweh, right? Even in Revelations, these descendants are being raised up and put through their gates as tribes. Tribes. Who are you? But for their sakes I made this world. Oh, no, it's about everybody. For their sakes I made the world. Nah, man, it's about everybody because Jesus loved everybody. For their sakes I made this world. Do you see why this is hidden books snatched out of the canonized versions? What person oppressing you would want you to read this? You'd be like, so it says for my sake, the whole world is made? What does that mean? That means you have dominion over all these things. That means they have to keep that leash on you. They have to keep their foot on your neck before you wake up and realize you have dominion over the entire world. All elements, fire, water, air, land, all creation by order of energy in seed that is very significant. And they tell you it's not, right? Let's go. So for their sakes I made the world, and when Adam transgressed my statutes, then was decreed that now is done. Then were the entrances of this world made narrow, full of sorrow and travail. They are but few, and they are but few and evil, full of perils and very painful. For the entrances of the elder world were wide and sure, and brought immortal fruit. So the world before this world, it was a wide, margin, right? It wasn't as narrow. You could just do what you wanted to do, but what happened? They built vanity. They got into themselves because it was just too easy. It was too accessible. He loved him so much. He gave him so much. Then he said, I'm going to make you work for it now. Because I see you have to. You have to go through the danger to get your inheritance. We have to fight and claw back into our inheritance. Right? It was given the first time. Now it's a narrow road. Let's go. For the entrances of the elder world were wide and sure, and brought immortal fruit. If then they that live labor not to enter these straight and vain things, they can never receive those that are laid up for them. Now therefore why disquiet yourself, seeing you are but a corruptible man? And why are you moved, whereas you are but mortal? Why have you not considered in your mind this thing that is to come? rather than that which is present. You know, why don't you focus on the good stuff that's to come? Why are you tripping now, Esdras? Why are you tripping now? Then answered I and said, Oh, hey, that bear rule, you have ordained in your Torah that the righteous should inherit these things, but that the wicked should perish. Nevertheless, the righteous shall suffer straight things and hope for a wide. For they that have done wickedly have suffered the straight things, and yet shall not see the whole. And he said unto me, There is no judge above Heya, and none that has understanding above Heya. For there be many that perish in this life, because they despise the Torah of Heya that is set before them. For Heya has given straight commandment to such as came, what they should do to live, even as they came, and what they should observe to avoid punishment. Nevertheless, they were not obedient unto him, but spoke against him, and imagined vain things, and deceived themselves by their wicked deeds, and said of Heya that he is not, and knew not his ways. Why did the Negro suffer so bad? And why, was it on display for all nations to witness? Why did we get our ass kicked for so long? I mean, just count the captivities. Just count the captivities, right? The Egypt, Babylon, Assyria, Persia, Medes, Greek, Roman, Ame'rican, the Pope, done Diversas 1452, put them people in the Indies in perpetual servitude, kings of Spain and Portugal. That's at least 8. And that's just, you got this other ones in between that. Count the captivities of the same people. It's not just this time. But now this buck got in. We got to get off of this loop. Now we see. Now we walk. Let's finish it out. All right. For Heya has given straight commandment to such as came, and they should do to live even as they came, and what they should observe to avoid punishment. Nevertheless, they were not obedient unto him, but spoke against him, and imagined vain things, and deceived themselves by their wicked deeds, and said of Heya that he is not. And said of Heya that he is not, and knew not his ways, but his Torah have they despised, and denied his covenants. You want him to keep his side of the word, but you deny his covenants. And his statutes have they not been faithful, and have not performed his works. And therefore Ezra, for the empty are empty things, and for the full are full things. Behold, the time shall come that these tokens which I have told you shall come to pass, and the bride shall appear, and she coming forth shall be seen, and now is withdrawn from the earth. And whatsoever is delivered from the foresaid evils shall see my wonders. For my son shall be revealed with those that be with him, and they that remain shall rejoice within 400 years. So we're saying at the end times this happens. Right? At the end times this happens. This is the new covenant we're talking about. People think that, people that are, speaking against this Greek hijack of Christos or Christ or any other version of that, that, when you dig up enough, you see how it's been patched together there and brought to your shores, which you already were at. And they said convert or die. You realize why you can't let this hijack go, because they had to hold on to this hijack to live. A lot of our people converted. They had to hold on to that hijack to live. And they beat it in you and said, don't go away from that. They go kill you. And now you still got to hold on to it, man. That's deep. So now we survive all these captivities. We're coming to this portion where we're realizing that this is all about a portion. All this is about a portion. So when we hear now a Mashiach, right, then now we can see it clear as someone who actually brings you out of captivity. When we hear the Greek Christos story, Mashiach, he left, did not bring anyone out of captivity. He said, I'll be right back in 2,000 years. And everyone's now looking for this guy, right? When the Most High said, I am the only Savior. I'm your only Savior. There is no Savior beside me. Right? So now we're talking about an end time. Now we're talking about a son. Does not the Most High call you his begotten? So out of you, a son. Out of you, a righteous branch. But now because we have a hijack, we have to put that into the Greek hijack. The righteous branch. Must be this, it's just like the movie Inception. Because they got there first, anytime you hear Mashiach, Messiah, you think Jesus Christ. You think whatever your oppressor put in your mind. You make it a Hebrew word? Yeah. You were here already. Columbus came here to recapture Jerusalem. He came here to capture Mount Zion. So who was here protecting Jerusalem when Columbus is writing down in the Biblioteca de Colombina in Sevilla, Spain, I'm coming there to capture Jerusalem, the holy city. I'm coming to America for this reason. Who did they find here protecting the holy city? Jesus? So you're the descendants of those that were slaughtered protecting the holy city. No hijacks allowed. So we don't have to get thrown when we, Mashiach or this. No, okay. I'm all for, someone delivering us. You know what I'm saying? I'm all for Moses. I'm all for those that have delivered us time and time and time again. We're all for that. But do not hijack us with something that is not ours. Do not hijack us with something that is not on our land, on our soil, when we understand that we're in the old world. And in the old world, our Creator doesn't change. We rock with our commandments, we rock with our statutes, we wake up, we reclaim what we got. You know what I'm saying? You wake up and you be that Mashiach energy and you start saving the people around you and telling them, yo, get the hell out the cities. It's time to vibrate with the trees. And let the Most High, raise us up. We'll know our Mashiach. We'll know. We'll understand. But don't be hijacked because they got there first. Keep researching. You know what I'm saying? So we're building, man. This is how we do it. You don't know what you're going to get. You don't know what you're going to get around here. Let's go. Let me get this last part. Let's go. But his Torah have they despised and denied his covenants, and his statutes have they not been faithful, and have not performed his works. And therefore Ezra, for the empty are empty things, and for the full are full things. Behold, the time shall come that these tokens which I have told you shall come to pass, and the bride shall appear, and she, I got that already. Let's go back. And after these years, shall my son Mashiach die. Now is that Jesus Christ? What happens after this Mashiach dies? This is specific to the end of days. We're not going back 2,000 years. We're specific to the end of days. Was that the end of days that Jesus Christ do, or did he leave? Said, I'll be back. I'm going to sit on the right hand. I'm going to come back in 2,000 years or something. Watch out. So we're talking about the end. At the end, Mashiach will die. So this Mashiach will die, according to Esdras 4. And all men that have life. Everybody dies when this Mashiach dies. You see how this works? Is this Jesus Christ? Did he die and everybody died? Or are we talking metaphorical now? He died for my sins. You died for your sins. What was worse? The crucifixion story or what happened here? How many times were you crucified here? Your baby's ripped apart and eaten. What's worse, watching your baby get ripped apart and put in a frying pan and eaten, or the Jesus story? His ass whooping was enough for everybody. Did you not read about your ass whoopings of your fathers and your mothers? The women hung upside down and poured vinegar into them, you know what I'm saying, and let it burn because they're hanging upside down. What's worse, that or Jesus' crucifixion story? Being ripped apart, families being ripped apart. Jesus left you in Greek Roman captivity. He left you in captivity, according to that story. This Mashiach here for my son, Mashiach, after these years shall my son, Mashiach, they're writing in, die, and all men that have life. Everybody dies when the real Mashiach dies. And the world shall be turned into old silence 7 days. So you thought it was metaphorical until you just heard that the entire earth is going to be still and silent for 7 days when the real Mashiach dies. Does that fit your Jesus story or your Hebrew version of it? The New Testament is not your testament. Your New Testament comes with a new covenant, a new birth of who? You. Of what else? Your trees. When your trees come back, then you will know your New Testament is here. And it's going to be the same commandments that you've been had, but this time you already got them written inwardly. You didn't have to see the miracles your fathers and mothers had to see to get in line. That's the difference. We have the law inside. We hear it inward. That is the crystallization of our energy now, our seed now. And the real Mashiach, what happens when the real Mashiach dies? All men that have life also die. What else? And the world shall be turned into old silence 7 days, like as in the former judgment, so that no man shall remain. No man's going to remain after the real Mashiach dies. Saying Jesus died, came back 3 days. Everything was still cracking. He said peace. And then he's going to come back again and die again. And then the world's going to be still. Come on, man. Get off the loop. It's getting a little loopy. You got to stop spinning at some point in time. Let's go. And the world shall be turned into old silence 7 days, like in the former judgment, so that no man shall remain. And after 7 days, the world that yet awakens not shall be raised up, and that shall die, that is corrupt. So every corrupt thing will die, and the earth shall restore those that are asleep in her, and so shall the dust, those that dwell in silence in the secret places, shall deliver those souls that were committed unto them. And Heya shall appear upon the seat of judgment, and misery shall pass away, and the long suffering shall have an end. Did long suffering end when JC died? What's so sick and sad, no matter what name you call him, is that y'all are looking for him. You don't even know your father. You just know him. When your father comes back, he's going to come back and you're going to be like, hey, Creator, I heard about you. Where's Yahusha? Jesus, Yahusha. Where's your son, man? Where's your son? They're going to say, Creator, get out the way. I heard your son's coming. I'm cool with him. He's going to let me in. He's going to let me in this party. Your son got my back. Your Creator gave you a direct energy transfer flow. He breathed the energy, the ruach, into your nostril, man. Right into your breath. Heya, breath. Heya, breath. Heya, existence, life, breath. Heya, frequency, vibration, energy into your nostrils, man. Directly. To do what? Have someone else come and be your savior? Or did he say there is no savior beside me? Rule number one, put no power even close to me. But everything you do got to be in JC's name, or whatever version of JC, whatever son, got to be in the son's name. Every time. The creator just can't get a straight up love flow. It all got to be through the son's name. Are you awake? Do you see how they've hijacked you? You no longer go straight to the creator anymore, but you used to. Did Moses have a hijack? Did David have a hijack? Did Daniel have a hijack? Think about the great, you know what I'm saying, energies. Think about your fathers. Think about your mother. Did they, the ones that were found true, did they have a hijack? But now you wake up and you have one. Why? Because you've been invaded on your own land and put into captivity. According to the Papal Bull, 1452, Dumb Diversas. And Haya shall appear upon a judgment seat, and misery shall pass away, and long suffering shall come to an end when the real Mashiach dies. But the judgment only shall remain. Truth shall stand, and faith shall wax strong, and the work shall follow, and the reward shall be sold, and the good deeds shall be of force, and wicked deeds shall bear no rule. Then I said, Abraham prayed for the inhabitants of Sodom, and Moshe for the fathers that sinned in the wilderness, and after him, and Shemuel and David for destruction, and Shalamah for them that should come to the sanctuary, and Elihu for those that received rain, and for the dead that might live, and Yechqua or Isaac for the people in the time of Concheriv. They're trying to break down all the Hebrew names. Sometimes it's just crazy. And many for many. Even so now, seeing corruption is growing up, and wickedness increase, and the righteousness have prayed for the wicked. Wherefore shall it not so be now? He answered me and said, the present life is not the end where much glory abides. Therefore have they prayed for the weak. But the day of doom shall be the end of this time, and the beginning of the immortality for to come, wherein corruption is past. In other words, you can pray for your people now, because this ain't the end. In terms of, you still got a little time to help intercede so that they can get their own self right. But you cannot intercede when this world comes to an end. When the real Mashiach dies and 7 days of quiet and all that real stuff that's going down. The Most High has never been a liar. This don't fit this Mashiach son that they gave us. This is something to come. And we have to continue to dig and understand rule number one, there is no power other than before or beside our power. Who he sends to help us and lift us and that we call Mashiachs, they never boast above our Father. They never say, I am that and it's me. You know what I'm saying? You got to get through me. Moses never said, you better come through me. He said, here's the laws of the Creator. Now we hear someone says, all power has been given to me under heaven and on earth. Who else got all power on earth? Satan, right? Mastema, the dweller. The dweller has power and JC has power. See the correlation? You're talking about two different gods. One, the creator of your Torah, and another God, which is their Zeus, which is their Iesus. No matter how you flip it, it's another deity. And they still put truth in the new. That's how they got you. That's how they hijack you. They got to put some breadcrumbs of truth to connect it, to everything that's true in the old. You got to try to connect it. But the end result is that no one gives a damn about Israel. And that no one gives a dang about our Creator. They only care about their hijack. What's the evidence? They put everything in the hijack's name. In the sun, in the sun, in the sun. They don't even know the sun. They got a hijack son. They don't even know this Mashiach. They don't even know the Creator. They ain't even looking for it. Everything's in this other hijack's name. I'm telling you, and I'm pleading with my people to remove the hijacks and return to your creator only, no matter who you are, where you come from. That order is your energy. Don't worry about, but I'm not this bloodline and that bloodline. Follow the rules. It's so easy and so simple. You rock with the rules of the playground that you live in. And when you understand someone created this in an intelligent design, then you understand that this intelligent design is the consciousness that surrounds you. That's why I say the truth has you surrounded. You can't leave, you can't get out of the consciousness when you understand whose consciousness you're in. It's order over chaos every time. And you got to remove the chaotic hijacks that have been, you know what I'm saying? You know, you got to hiya the hijack. Hiya the hijack. That's the next shirt. Hiya the hijack. All right. So, last part I get is this. You know, obviously, this means more to me than getting any other book, because this is what it's all about. I'll make this a 10-part series. You already know. We're going to get this. Interference is at the end, meaning that you can't intercede. Infidelity is cut off. Righteousness is grown, and truth is sprung up. Then shall no man be able to save him that is destroyed, nor to oppress him that has gotten the glory. So once you've gotten the glory, no one can oppress you no more. Once the Most High has given you the glory energy, no one can oppress you no more. That is your force field by order. I understand. I answered then and said, this is my first and last saying, that it had been better not to have given the earth unto Adam, or else when it was given him, to have restrained him from sinning. For what profit is it for men now in this present time to live? Like, what's the point? Edwards is asking, what's the point? Let's see the answer. O Adam, what have you done? For though it was you that sinned, you are not fallen alone, but we all that come of you. For what profit is it unto us? Is there be promised us an immortal time, whereas we have done the works that bring death, and that there is promised us an everlasting hope, whereas ourselves, being most wicked, are made vain, and that there are laid up for us dwellings of health and safety, whereas we lived wickedly, and that the glory of Heya is kept to defend them which have led a weary life, whereas we have walked in the most wicked ways of all, and that there should be shown a paradise whose fruit endures forever, wherein is security in medicine, since we shall not enter it. For we have walked in unpleasant places, and that the faces of them which have used abstinence shall shine above the stars, whereas our faces shall be blacker than darkness. And by abstinence, he's saying those who have restrained from hijacks, man. All right, abstinence means they've abstained from the sin of the hijacks. What's rule number 1? Don't put another power before the Creator. So mainly that's what we're talking about. Those that have kept themselves pure and not knelt their knee to hijacks. And now that you know you've been hijacked, what you gonna do? You got to keep digging and don't be afraid of the free fall. You just got to get your surfboard out and surf the wave. For while we lived and committed iniquity, we considered not that we should begin to suffer for it after death. Then answered he me. All right, here's the drop. All right, here's why I did this for 39 minutes. Let's go. Let's go. Then he answered he me and said, this is the condition of the battle which man that is born upon the earth shall fight, that if he be overcome, he shall suffer as you have said. But if he get the victory, he shall receive the things that I say. All right? If you make it, man, and you keep those commandments and you keep those statutes, man, you don't, you know what I'm saying, you respect your brother and you honor your mother, your father, you do the right things, then you get what he say. Not all the doom and gloom that Edris is saying, but the promise, right? That if he be overcome, let me skip down. For this is the life whereof Moshe spoke unto the people while he lived, saying, choose life, choose up, choose life, that you may live. Nevertheless, they believed not him, nor yet the prophets after him, nor me, which have spoken unto him, that there should not be such heaviness in their destruction, and shall be joy over them that are persuaded to Heya. I answered them and said, I know Heya, and that Heya is called merciful, and that he has mercy upon them which are not yet come into the world. So your mercy happened, man. He gave you a grace period before you even came into the world. He knew those that were going to choose up, but the same, it's about the experience. It's not like, oh, well, he knew it already. What's the point? Experience. As energy, all this has to take place. The earth has to lose and has to gain. You have to lose and gain. You got to walk the narrow road between the deep water and the fire. And notice only one man and woman could walk at a time. It's all order. You know what I mean? So much love to my man Arthur Scott Jr. I had to break it out. I had to do what we do. Now we can go. Told y'all it was going to be, at least a 6-part series. But nah, I think it's been really dope to combine all these things and kind of get a good, feel, a good vibration going with the perspective of these trees and these mountains. At the same time, get a little bit at a time from the worlds beyond the poles, take a good bite. We'll continue in chapter 3 today. And, do a couple quick drops as well. So let's just keep it going, man. Let's get back in the zone. Love y'all, Drop Nation, man. You already know what it do. You already know what it do. Love is love. All right. Thanks for vibing with me, man. I had to get that out, so, I do that for the few. I know you got them people like, man, I just want to hear this, so I just want you, man, why you gotta, look, man. I do this for the same people I did it for from the very beginning, man. That one brother or sister, you know what I'm saying, that's, they got the earphones in, they just chilling, they've been lied to a gang of times, they just like, man, somebody tell me the truth up in this piece. I do it for that young sister, that young brother. I do it for the few. The Most High does it for the precious stones. I do it for those stones, man. Who got the drop? Who got the drop? Who got the drop? So let's jump right into it, man. Get that part 4 going. This is part 5. Styles by Nina's always cold turkey. Kicking that real. She's back in Moab, Utah. Is that an eye? So, man, Arthur Scott's kicking more Edris. I told you. You got that Edris still going. Health drop, man. Getting to the root. You know what's in your chicken. Damn. That's all I gotta say. October, Scorpio. This brother's a truck driver. He's just getting footage of mountains and horizons. It's amazing, man, to see him use his profession. I'm gonna get some of this later. Right now, let's get right into this. N.W. Smith. He's gonna tie a couple things and talk about vibration a little bit. That's going to lead us where we need to go. And W. Smith got the drop. Take it away. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Bruce Lee. Oh, my bad. There we go. It's a little low, so listen up.
The Egyptians, with their fight style, those that are in South America that have the fight style, the French said, turn it down. It's too dangerous. You're too powerful. You're masters at your art. So now it's been turned into a dance. I want you to think about this, because this is us. No matter how you want to chop it up. I know right here, this is a picture, because I try to look up African Americans that are masters in Kung Fu and stuff like that, but they don't have too many brothers that are into that, or too many of our women. I think I've seen like only 2 women that are into this. And, I think about this back when all of a sudden Facebook was just blown up with all these videos of our people in their neighborhoods fighting each other, you know. It's something that's been in us forever, apparently, you know. But now, with us being without the knowledge of it, it seems like, you know, we're grasping for straws. You know, I encourage you to learn kung fu or some type of fight style.
Yeah, man.
Besides just boxing.
Everybody suit up, man. Suit up. Learn, you know what I'm saying, ground fighting and all that, you know what I mean? Like 90% of scraps end up on the ground. A lot of people don't understand how to do anything on the ground, you know what I mean? So learn ground fighting, learn different tactics, man. You know what I'm saying? Suit up. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit where he's talking about some crystals and things. Let's go.
In the past, we had Dr. Masaru Emoto, a Japanese scientist who played classical music and folk songs through speakers placed near water. He would then freeze the water to make crystals.
I already did a video on this, showing the effects that music has on water, and talking about how we are 75% water, so the music we do listen to has a positive and negative effect on our bodies. These are the images of the music, if I remember correctly, of the music that was positive, like Mozart and others that were uplifted. You know, you hear a lot of King Drop talk about the vibration, how we need to take our vibration that takes us up. The music that wasn't filled full of negativity, the water would crystallize under the microscope and it would look like this, versus water that was played under heavy metal, rock, rap. It actually formed up and became clouded and dark and deformed. So.
Just for clarifications, you know what I'm saying, the brother's doing a great job. And yeah, what it is the semantics, you know what I'm saying? We're just simply talking about repeatable, observable science. And what we're specifically witnessing is vibration itself. So it doesn't matter if it's rap music, rock music, Mozart, whatever. If the vibration is mathematically inconsistent with harmonics, you're going to get a mathematically inconsistent result. And that result is ugly looking crystals or beautiful looking crystals. Right? So, I believe the misconception there is that there's something wrong with rap music or there's something wrong with heavy rock, whatever they're doing. If the intention is positive, it's positive. You know what I'm saying? But the frequency of the song itself, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can take a crystal or the same experiment, you can yell at it, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. That's the intent. That's the frequency you're putting on it from your own vocal cord. But let me take an MP3 of that and then tune it into 440. That's what the International Standards Organization has been doing with our music since at least 1951. And before that was the British Standards Institute, the BSI, that was been doing it. They say Hitler was using the same 440. So it's the frequency itself, not the variation of music. You go to our vibe suites, you get, you know what I'm saying, all kind of music, from rap music to pop music to indigenous flute music, you know what I'm saying, all that. And just because things are Mozart or classical doesn't mean they had the good intentions either, because they were doing a lot of experimentation on these type of detached frequencies as well. Not everything Mozart was kicking, you know what I'm saying, was he was kicking in that particular frequency, or they were putting it out in those particular harmonics. So we have a misconception that certain music is good and certain music is evil, or certain music is bad. You know what I mean? You take it back to hip hop. I mean, that was some of the most uplifting stuff, you know what I'm saying? And then it got hijacked. So now on the radio, the money, it's become hijacked. But hip hop in itself was a cultural thing, a way of expression, poetry, everything in between. And even now you got some real solid cats, and that's, you know what I'm saying, with, I mean, trust me, man, we about to come, you know what I'm saying, with some real beautiful vibrations, you know what I'm saying? So it's not the style of music, blues, rock, whatever the case is. What we're talking about here with these crystals is the actual vibration that it's tuned in. Right? Rap music tuned in 432 is going to give you that same beautiful crystal vibration. Heavy metal tuned to 432, no matter what it is, it's going to give you that because of the vibration. That's the intention. Remember, they have to put intentions on these crystals. Once you give it the intention of this harmonic, then you're going to see the result manifest. Remember, I could say, fuck you, and make you feel a certain way, or I could say, man, I fucking love you, girl. And she'll be like, ooh, daddy, I didn't know you like that. Right? She felt good when I said, I fucking love you, girl. Or because I fucking want to kill you. You know what I mean? And then it's like, damn, I feel that. So it's not the fuck, right? I'm not cursing you. I'm not putting a curse on you. It's the intention of these things. So is fuck bad, or is my intention make the vibration? Same thing with rap music. Is rap bad, or is the intention, or in this case, the frequency that they're tuning it in according to the International Standards Organization? That's the intention that they're putting in physically and tuning into a vibration that's turning into a very, it increases the illusion of seclusion. Love to M.W. Smith, but just want to clarify that so we can, get off of these hijacks in terms of this music. Music is acceptable. This music is this. What's your intention? What's your vibration? That has no power over you until you give it intention. In this case, they've given it intention. They've tuned all your music coming out your radio to 440. Every MP3 is in 440 by default. So this is the 440 grid. All right, so we get to our harmonics. We tune it up. Let's go.
Which you would then compare with crystalline structure of different samples. So what this guy did back in 1994 was...
And here, see, this was the rock and roll, I believe it was. It was either this one or this one. They were the rock and roll, heavy metal, and they talk about these crystals as being the Star of David, here, whatever. Let's check that out. Water.
Photograph water that was affected by sound.
And again, rock and roll. So this could be, okay, that's the rock and roll crystal. Is that, is that consistent for all rock music? Have we compared certain artists with other rock artists and other rock artists? Do they all give the same intention? If we're just talking musical. Or are we specifically saying that this is a result of music played in a specific frequency? Now we're leaving out the entire mathematics and just saying, oh, this is this genre, or that's this genre, or that's this genre, and leaving out the actual mathematical consistence of the frequency itself, the numbers itself, the harmonics itself of that particular rock song. You know what I'm saying? So it gets deeper. I'm going to keep going. I just wanted to, revisit this crystals and definitely, make sure that we, are rocking in the clear when we deal with our vibrations. What else can I say about this, man? Film drop. I had to drop it. What do you see? I can't play it. They be tripping with their strikes. You know what I'm saying? All right. Clearly, either you see a mountain with a spaceship on it, or you see a tree cut off with a spaceship on it. And if these trees are the result, or the, the actual, embodiment of this stone and these crystals and this vibration, then now you see that they go towards certain vibrations. You see, what if the fallen angels planted their own trees? And these trees created certain crystals and had certain vibrations. What if, Haya's trees had a certain vibration and their trees had a certain vibration? You see what I'm saying? Remember, they built man-made islands. You don't think they planted their own situations? You know what I'm saying? So, we're all building here, but now you see, even in the new Star Wars trailer, a big tree with a spaceship on top of it. Now that your eyes are open, you see what I'm talking about. Yeah, man, let's get into this October Scorpio. Truck driver, man, he just pulling over and saying, look, man, is this a mountain or is this a pile of waste? Let's go. October Scorpio got the drop. Yeah.
What's going on, everybody?
Let's go.
Want to say what up to Lex Will, King Drop, Hiram Mark, Francisco.
Come on.
Everybody else just trying to put that indigenous truth out there.
Drop Nation.
Everybody that's spreading the word, putting up your time, effort, and energy, trying to get us.
Say no more. Can you not feel the vibration from my brother? Oh, he's shining, man. He's so full. He's so clear. Man, I'm starting to really recognize this vibration, man. Love to you, King.
Us back home to the Creator. Hey, y'all. The other day I was watching a video by King Drop, and he put a video, the video about there are no forests on the flat Earth. Now, I'm a truck driver. At this point in time, I go back and forth from Atlanta to basically Miraloma, California, sometimes LA. And I travel Interstate 40, east and west, and then sometimes Interstate 20 and 10, depending on where I'm going. Now, I've been a truck driver for a while, right? So after watching this video, that whole thing about the mountains, right? Now, I'll be damned, after watching this video, there ain't nothing but dirt piles. So right now, I'm on Interstate 40. I'm heading east. And I just left Miraloma, California. Now, I'm about maybe an hour, 2 hours out away from there. Now, check this out. I'm getting ready to show y'all these mountains, these supposed mountains. They ain't nothing but dirt piles that they done dug into the ground for the natural resources. And they got us believing they mountains. Check this out. Hey, y'all, 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 hey, y'all. Hey, y'all, hey, y'all, hey, y'all, hey, y'all.
Come on.
By the way, there go the moon up there.
Uh-oh.
Let me see if I could.
Flat drop.
Yep. There's the moon right there. And here's the sun. There go the sun. Right there. Sun. Moon. Anyways, check this out. Look at that. See if I can get, I'm using my phone. Now, look at that. I don't know how this is going to come out, but what I'm going to do is I have some GoPro cameras, and what I'm going to do is attach it to the top of my truck and give you guys sort of an aerial view of what this looks like going down the highway. Check that out over there. Ain't nothing but dirt. Right there.
And that's amazing, because how many times have you passed this stuff on the highway? You thought it was just some mountain formation. And you're like, nope, that's a big pile of dirt. And mountains are trees.
You dropped a heavy one the other day, King Drop. I don't know where you getting this information from, but that was heavy.
I left the links, King. I left the links.
I don't know if this will... See if I could...
Nah, man, shout out to Geo Shifter. You know what I'm saying? That really dropped, you know what I mean? I think he might have been the first to drop that, but, I mean, that makes us go back to all these movies. People bringing up, like, Avatar, Pocahontas, all kind of different movies that clearly show, you know, these trees being trees. And a series of what they did when they cut it down, and the entire network that they destroyed, the electric grid that they took down in order to hijack us into their grid. They had to destroy our grid to put up their grid. That makes sense, right?
Focus in.
Big piles of dust. So y'all keep checking it out, man. Love to October Scorpio dropping that drop. Alright, now let's finish up where we were with the crystal. movie, the Spirit Science joint. Oh, wait. First, I got to just drop this 3-minute joint. Do trees communicate? All right. I'm going to go here, and I'm going to finish out that Spirit Science joint. Where is that at? Space drop, flat drop, other drop. Oh, it's on the other. Oh. Man, it's a lot of drop, Come on, internet. Come on, internet. So let's get this right quick. So I'm talking about the communication. We're talking about the trees, right? There's no forest on the flat earth. Let's get into trees. Do trees communicate? Obviously, we know they do. We watch Avatar, so we can see that, right? But let's get a scientist, point of view, perspective.
My research does show that they're communicating. Yes, it's a method of communication. These plants are really not individuals in the sense that Darwin thought they were individuals competing for survival of the fittest. In fact, they're interacting with each other, trying to help each other survive. Well, I'm a forester, specialized into looking at below-ground communities. We found that these fungi actually will connect one plant to another plant. Okay, so this tree here has got roots growing out everywhere, and as we get further away from the tree, we're more likely to find its roots, the ones that are involved in this trade. This is where the fungi hunt or scavenge for nutrients. So the tree sends down its carbon, it goes through the root system and through into these fungi, and there's an interface between the root cortical cells and the fungal cell that's wrapped itself around that cortical cell, and that's where this exchange goes on. So cool. Meters away, you can have a plant connected to another plant, and they're just shuffling carbon and nitrogen back and forth according.
Now remember, she just kicked that there's an illusion of seclusion until you really get into understanding the way that the Creator created our entire ecosystem, right? So our ecosystem is not what Darwin is kicking, the survival of the fittest, meaning we got to keep conquering people, subjugating people, like the Pope said, subjugate these people, these enemies of Christ, and put them in perpetual servitude. That's forever slavery. Why? Because it's survival of the fittest to these people. In our ecosystem, you're only as good as the person next to you. So it thrived on helping each other. It thrived on the connectivity. We have to go home to the connectivity and get out of the illusion of separation. Just like you look up and you think these luminaries are separate, they are all connected. Land, water, everything else. According to my man Giannini, we're going to get it. Let's go.
To who needs it. The mother trees we think of as the big old trees. They catch your eye when you walk into a forest. This Douglas fir is about 500 years old. It's a massive tree that will have an enormous network associated with it. So you can think of this as a mother tree,
So that's a mother tree now, man. Now go watch Avatar and see what a mother tree look like. This would be like the size of the branch of the mother tree. So this is now what a mother tree is. I mean, that lets you know that we are in a sad state of disregard. But the concept is still the same.
It's in the sense that it's a dominant tree in the forest. It's probably networked into all of the trees all around it,
all of them,
even though they're of different species. So this tree is probably linked over to trees as far as you can see. It's just that there are trees in between that are the bridges for the network. Forest ecosystems are really complex systems, just like the Earth is a complex system.
Got it. Wi-Fi. This shit is Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is an abstraction of this. When you have your network back and your crystals are vibrating and they're all connected, then you can now send thoughts back and forth. Now you can be connected to each other. When your ecosystem is reconnected, it connects you. If your ecosystem is destroyed, that's your power. You are created with it. You go with it. You ride or die with your earth, man. You are connected. You are indigenous to this earth. Your genes are it, right? So that's your Wi-Fi. Let your habitation, let your ecosystem revive and see if you can hear each other again. If you can hear the animals again. You need your ecosystem, which is why you got to cry to the mountain. You got to go home to the wilderness, which are just your trees. Wilderness sounds kind of scary. Go home to your trees so that they know that you're ready for them to grow again. See? Because you have command over them and they will grow for you by order.
Biosphere. And the way it works is that we have all these parts, and all these parts are working together, like the fungus is working together with the tree. It's a lot like how our brains work. In neural networks, our brains are comprised of neurons and axons, and these neurons are physically related, but they're also, almost metaphysically related, because they're sending messages back and forth and they're building upon each other. It works a lot like a forest ecosystem. So in this forest...
Wow, I didn't really think of it like that. Right, so trees, think of these huge mountains, right? Like a Mount Everest, a tree stump, broken off. And the root system, all that connectivity is like a brain. These are brains. You see? So when they start mining certain areas and start going into it for precious metals because of the crystallization, remember the conductors, a conduit like copper and gold and all these things, are found inside of the roots, inside of the mines, because they are conducting such high levels of frequency. You see what they destroyed? They destroyed your entire Wi-Fi. They destroyed your whole network. Now you think you are secluded because you have nothing telling you that you're connected, because they have disconnected it because you disconnected from your creator.
The fungus and the tree working together allows lots of structure. That structure is expressed in species diversity or structural diversity of the forest. And that diversity is really what gives the forest resilience. The resilience to withstand unexpected events like a fire that might come through, or an insect, or a windstorm. Well, somebody's going to be left standing because there's a diversity there. Some of the forest practices that we have done pay no attention to the role of these mother trees, or that trees actually will move some of their legacy to the new generation. We didn't pay attention to it. Instead, what we did is we went and cut down those trees after they died so that we could make 2x4s out of them. Wow. And we didn't give them a chance to give back to the community, I don't think. So what those dying trees will do is that they will also move resources into living trees, to the young ones coming up before they completely collapse.
They'll pass the message.
So it's a transfer, like a passing of the wand from one generation to the next.
You see, so the remnant of the trees are equivalent to the remnant of Yasharah, Israel, these tribes. And this seed has still survived this energy from father to son. Just like these trees have continued to pass the messages and the wisdom of old, so that they know, these mountains know, when it's time. They understand, they carry, they're the record keepers on earth. They're the brains, right here, the roots. here. These crystals. Crystals.
We allow it to happen.
You know that whole thing with the Mayan skulls and was it the 12 skulls or something like that, right? Crystal skulls carry messages, carry energy, right? Energy, I say. Energy, man. Shout out, man, to Simone. Everybody out there doing what they're doing. Clearly, we know all the energy that they're really putting their energy into it, you know what I mean? But, hey, man. Hey. These are gladiators in the arena. Gladiators in the arena. What did Rome do? They gave you distractions. They put on Olympic Games. Doesn't get much more pagan than that. Alright, let's pick up, finish some of this off and get back to our Abizaid and Giannini, Worlds Beyond the Poles. I think we were
Crystals, what are they? No, seriously.
Let's go here.
Think of crystals like a rechargeable battery, and by leaving it in the sun, it recharges and stores energy.
Let's go here.
And compare the difference yourself. I have done this many times, and I can always feel the difference. And from the people I've talked to who have done this as well, most people do. In my experiences, this rejuvenated water is smoother and cleaner than it is when you first pour it.
Crystal
So putting
water.
crystals into your drinking water is a very good way of keeping your body hydrated with some living, healthy water.
Energy.
Crystal grids. Many of you may have seen the YouTube video Spirit Quest 10.5. In this video, Jordan demonstrates how to make a crystal grid around your house and what it's used for. A crystal grid is an energetic grid that you can create around your house that fills your house or room with energy by connecting several crystals together through the power of your intention and...
Alright, now think about the trees. Think about these large crystal trees and the grid of energy they have. Now, when you go to certain areas, you understand there's order there by energy protecting it in a grid. I think there are certain grids that are still here by order that have not been destroyed by order. And that's what we're researching, our migration patterns.
energies of the crystals. If you happen to have several larger crystals and a wand crystal, you can make a crystal grid around your house or room, or wherever you are. Place the crystal around your room. The crystals do not have to be in a geometric pattern, but if they are, it will only serve to strengthen the grid. Consciously connect all of the crystals together using a wand crystal. You simply have to point the wand at a predetermined master crystal, usually a quartz, or something bigger than the rest. While holding onto the crystal in your mind, then move the wand to point it to the next crystal, and draw a connecting line in your mind. Then continue to make lines between it and the other crystals. You can go between all of the crystals and back to the master, or back to the master for every one, or anything you want, really. Let your creativity guide you. You can also program your intention into the master for whatever you want, whether it be abundance or healing or spiritual development, and allow those energies to flow.
So in the forest, that master, what they're calling a master, would be the mother tree. That's your mother tree.
Go through all of the crystals in the grid. Something I've been playing with for a long time now and have had wonderful experiences with is what I call the bed chakra charge. The day that you charge your crystals in the sunlight, take 7 crystals, 1 for each chakra, and place them either under your bed or in between your mattress and box spring in the order of the chakras, lined up with where your body is while you sleep. You can do a little meditation with them too if you like. Set the intention for them to provide you only with the highest of frequencies for you to explore. Then, go to bed. The first time I did this, as well as pretty much every time after, I would fall asleep and wake up after about 4 hours or so. Except I would be fully charged and wide awake, as if I was an iPod plugged into a socket, and I'd be ready to start the day. None of that lazy, tired morning routine at all. It was phenomenal. Not only that, but I also had amazing dreams when I did that, and I don't always remember my dreams. Again, I'm not saying that this will happen, but that it's a possibility, as it's what I experienced, and it would be very interesting to see how others reacted to trying such an experiment.
I don't know. I've not done those experiments, but we're only talking about trees and the intention and vibration you put on them. You know, they've taken it and turned it into their own New Ager thing. They missed the whole point that these trees belong to somebody, that somebody was cut off with the tree, and that somebody will rise with the tree, and that somebody ain't everybody. So, how do we vibrate? Yeah, maybe crystals, would help our energy. You know what I'm saying? Somehow, you know what I mean? Look more into it if you like to, but I'm still thinking about the trees.
Also, don't feel that you need to place the crystals under your bed. If it's not possible, you could put them in your pillowcase or on your night shelf or something like that. The possibilities are infinite. And of course, we could not talk about crystals without talking about meditation. You can learn so much from crystals by working with them in meditation, and they can also greatly benefit you with finding the peaceful meditation state if you're struggling with it. You can sit in the traditional lotus position with a crystal in each hand, or you can sit with a single crystal in your lap. You can also just place them nearby if you don't want to touch them. And of course, like with the bed chakra charge, you can place crystals on each chakra as you lay down, and allow your body to receive their energies naturally and intimately. What you experience from working with crystals will be up to you to discern, but many report crystals magnifying one's personal energy by merely focusing and connecting it with the universal energies. Crystals can assist in manifestation, but one must understand the difference between want and need. In manifestation, there is a thin line between helping the universe provide that which is necessary and attempting to force the universe to provide that which is desired. Unfulfilled want is one of the true sources of unhappiness. If one wants something desperately enough and is unable to attain it in one lifetime, they might keep drawing themselves into additional lifetimes until that want is fulfilled. However, need is always fulfilled, as long as it's not blocked by want. Although, of course, one might need to work to fulfill that need as well. It will come. Certain crystals, like citrine, are helpful in manifesting abundance into your life. Although in what sense, that is totally up to you. Ultimately, you are the one pulling the experiences of receiving towards you, and as long as you are open to receiving, energy can keep flowing in all aspects of your life. Finally, and this is something I found in one of my favorite crystal books, Love is in the Earth, but I haven't tested it. Supposedly, gasoline mileage has been enhanced by placing a quartz crystal on the carburetor or on the fuel line.
Okay.
Increases of up to 50% have been reported.
Now we talking.
Mechanical portions of the automobile have also been treated by placing a crystal on, or...
Y'all might not get nothing else from this drop. Y'all might not get nothing else from any of these drops that we've dropped. But at least you know, man, how to get your gas to stretch. You know what I mean?
towards the equipment.
I mean, you can't hate me
There have been many
forever.
reports of crystals that have been placed in automobiles to encourage the protection and safe passage of the drivers and passengers, as well as maintaining the vehicle itself. Whether you're skeptical of crystals or not, you gotta admit there's something absolutely magical about them. And hey, why not just pick up a few just to find out? You won't know until you experience it. And now we're going to look at some crystals that are more commonly used in crystal healing and energy work, so that you know exactly what kind of crystals are best suited for helping you on your path to ascension,
Break down some
as well
crystals.
as the shapes and forms that they come in. Crystal fun fact for the day: almost all crystals grow in hexagons, which we know from sacred geometry is a very pure form that
Hexagon trees, right? The hexagon structure. Right? That's exactly what these trees and these mountains are showing. Devil's Tower, all that stuff. These same honeycomb structures. Let's go.
comes out of the flower of life. Supposedly, though, there's a very rare crystal that grows in a star tetrahedron or Merkaba form. I've never seen pictures of it, but if anyone out there has information or pictures of such a crystal, I would love to see it, and we could show it to everyone on Spirit Science. Okay, let's start with crystal formations. When a crystal grows on a base called a matrix, it forms what is called a crystal cluster. They generally look something like this, and emit a massive amount of positive energy into an environment. They're great for having around your home or workspace. Most crystals grow terminated, which means pointy on one end like this. Sometimes you can find double terminated crystals, which grow in clay pockets instead of on a matrix. They are pointy on both ends and emit energy from both sides. Geodes are another great formation for having around the house. These are mineral products of volcanic bubbles. Very powerful. Crystal spheres are crystals that have been contoured into a spherical configuration. This is one of the most powerful forms a crystal can take, because it emits the same frequency in all directions. When held or worn, they purify and fill the gaps in the entire auric field.
Alright, so now you see how they flipped their intentions on crystals with the crystal balls. Right? These high power crystal balls, they put their sorcery in them, and they used the Most High's technology, you know what I'm saying, against other people. And that's how they were flipping the script, hijacking the frequency. You know what I mean? So,
If you have a larger one, you can gaze into
Either
the
way.
crystal to help with the evaluation of a present situation or circumstance. If you've ever wondered where the legends about psychics with crystal balls came from, it actually has some substance behind it. Crystal eggs are similar to spheres, but are in an egg shape. These are great for meditation and used in reflexology, zone therapy, acupuncture, and shiatsu. It contains a harmonic balance of male and female energies. Crystal singing bowls are a crystal that has been fashioned into a bowl. You play it by moving a mallet around the outer edge, and it creates an absolutely beautiful sound. If you haven't ever heard one of these before, you have to hear it in person. The sound resonates through your entire body at so many frequencies at once. It's amazing. Palm crystals are wide, oval-shaped pieces, which are great for meditation. You can get crystal pendulums, which are dowsing tools for following your intuition. The basic idea is that you hold it in your left hand and ask yourself a question, and allow the pendulum to swing. Depending on the direction, if it swings or goes in circles, it gives you a yes or no answer. Try this one out for yourself.
Yeah, see, this is when I get into the madness. Let's skip ahead a little bit.
Its perceptiveness and precision, is grounding and energetic, balances the yin and yang energies within the body. Aquamarine provides emotional and intellectual stability and clarity of the mind, aids with self-expression, calms nerves, dispels intolerance, and helps banish fears and phobias. Amazonite aligns and balances the mental and etheric bodies, calms nerves, aids creative expression, and cuts through illusion.
So that's just a tree. This is just tree fibers. Imagine the frequency of your forest.
Brings joy, clarity, and an understanding of universal love. Rose quartz is the stone of love. It balances, heals, and rejuvenates the emotions, cools hot tempers, clears stored anger, guilt, and jealousy, and encourages compassion and harmony.
Imagine the frequency.
Calcite facilitates an awareness and understanding of nature, aids in the remembering of astral travel experiences, and alleviates fear.
Wow.
Carnelian aids concentration and memory, stimulates the inquisitiveness and dispels apathy, enhances attunement with the inner self. Lapis lazuli enhances awareness and intellect and enhances psychic abilities, helps overcome depression, aids creativeness and protection. Smoky quartz dispels negativity and releases emotional blocks, provides grounding and protects, as well as enhances channeling power.
We're just talking trees. Do you see what they did? Do you understand what these quarries are for and why they quarried every mountain, right? These are trees. Do you understand? Other than them just getting everything for themselves because they wanted everything, it was cutting you down. It was cutting your frequency down. It was cutting you off. Alright? Alright, man, let's get into it. Let's get into our library. I already got it up, man. Worlds Beyond the Poles, chapter 3. Alright, we got a little bit of this last time, so I'm going to skip ahead. Alright, I'm going to start right here. Despite such sincere counsel. Wait a minute. Hold up, man. Hold up, man. I need to be in swag frequency. Man. If we're going to do it, we got to be in swag frequency. Let's go.
Welcome to swag frequency.
Okay. Much love, much love. Let's keep it going. Despite such sincere counsel, 10 men of tolerance were thereafter ardently sought. It mattered little to the pilgrim whether they bore the label of scientists or something else, if they existed and would assist in the cause, they should be found. Oh, actually, we got all that. Let's skip ahead. All right, let's start right here. Actually, how far did we get last time? Okay. I think we got all the way. Alright, we're going to pick it up right here. Whatever his hopes may have been, it was enough that the land of the Golden Gate had beckoned. The pilgrim proceeded to San Francisco. Then, in a rapid series of events during the remainder of 1928, his work was expounded before faculty members of the University of California at Berkeley, Santa Clara University in Santa Clara's Bountiful Valley of Orchids, at the San Jose State Teachers College, at the United States Naval Observatory on Maury Island, and at the Archbishop of San Francisco headquarters, where His Excellency Archbishop Edward Hanna presided. Little time was lost in an itinerary that subsequently took him to Los Angeles, where his treatise physical continuum harshly invaded the University of Southern California, USC, and the University of California, Los Angeles, UCLA. So he took his work to all of the major institutions. It was later heard by prominent representatives of the Hearst organization, who were then preparing for the historical Hearst-Wilkins Antarctic expeditions of 1928. His unquenched ardor was manifested in every quarter where his cause might be advanced. He was heard in restricted academic circles as well as in weekly lectures. Here we go. As well as in weekly lectures from Los Angeles radio station KFI. He was invited to accompany Captain Sir George Hubert Wilkin and Alan Lockheed, president of the Lockheed Corporation, to a select meeting at the Breakfast Club in Burbank, where his cause was heard. Wherever it was considered that the work's interests might be served, he was to be found. It is understandable that a press dispatch of that time described him as the modern Columbus who seeks a Queen Isabella somewhere in America. Right? He wanted to do an expedition beyond these poles and beyond this fantasy. So now they looked at him like, oh yeah, you're a modern Columbus now. All right? So though a queen might have possessed the means to equip a fitting expedition for land discovery beyond the poles, or for land discovery beyond the poles, or to provide funds for the required stratosphere ascents, no queen, duchess, or baroness ventured forth to ease a modern dreamer's burden. It appeared that modern queens and lesser members of nobility were too sophisticated to be intrigued by a dreamer's announcement of new worlds to conquer. New worlds to conquer. New worlds to conquer. Before they were into getting this new world, that's where they found the copper-colored race, according to the 1828 Webster Dictionary. Definition of American, it says the copper-colored race is found here by the European, now refers to the European born here. So they took your title when they came to this new world. Now we're talking about other worlds. All right? They have no idea who you are, so they can't tell you who you're not. None of their scholars and institutions have ever locked down who these copper-colored people are. None of them have said, yeah, they're from Africa, no problem. They said, we've never found this type of peculiar dark race of people. There are multiple dark races of people, multiple tribes and seeds that were separated a long time ago. And we realize now that they formed a confederacy, and we are the last tribe to awaken. And we realize, damn, y'all knew exactly who you were. You had to drop the whole time, huh? However, the dreamer and the dream did not perish for want of queens, duchess, or other noble women. It was evident that a more alert nobility was to be found in San Francisco, for it was there that a ranking member of the church nobility, in the person of Archbishop Edward Hanna, made possible a hearing of the Pilgrim's work by the faculty of the University of St. Clara, the famed Jesuit, the Reverend Jerome S. Ricard, S.J., who was popularly known as the Padre of the Rains. As the result of his accurate weather predictions, was perhaps the most interested member of the faculty audience. His interest would rightfully surpass that of the pure academician, because he was an atomic physicist and seismologist. When the hearing was over, Professor Ricard exclaimed with undisguised enthusiasm, Giannini, if you succeed in proving your concept of physical continuum, it will represent the most realistic physical continuity of the universe within the history of man. Professor Ricard's teachings held that there existed a constant play of energy between all assumed bodies and particles of the created universe whole, just like the trees. However, his dignified membership in the order of theorists adhering to the supposition of 1543 did not deny him discernment that the 400-year-old theory failed to provide an answer to the universe riddle. The San Francisco Call of that time featured an exclusive interview with the pilgrim whose extraordinary disclosures had been made at Santa Clara University. The press presentation contained the pilgrim's photograph with that of the Australian explorer Captain Sir George Hubert Wilkins. There was also a likeness of the ancient astronomer Copernicus, reproduced from an old woodcut. All right, the hijack. This feature dealt with Sir Hubert's then forthcoming Antarctic expedition to discover unknown land beyond the South Pole Point. Yet, even that timely and most sensational presentation failed to bring forth a queen or a duchess or even a lowly baroness to tend oil for the dreamer's turbulent and engulfing waters of workday application to his dreamer's dissemination, as there was a notable dearth of queens and their noble retinue. Kings of finance and members of their noble Ame'rican order were also in absentia. No subsidy was to be had from the famous banking house of Giannini, though its master, Amadeo Peter Giannini, had been given personal knowledge of the dreamer's import. However, it must in fairness be acknowledged that his friendly reception and his expressed willingness to cooperate in other than a financial way held a measure of aid which was perhaps greater than any financial disbursement for that cause. Nor was there any assistance from the vast storehouse of private funds for the express purpose of advancing science in all its branches. Regardless of scope, the overlords of that storehouse expressed the uttermost skepticism concerning the land which a dreamer knew existed. One of the few cooperative courtesies of that time was extended by the United States Navy through its senior professor of mathematics, who was also director of the U.S. Naval Observatory on Mare Island, California. He graciously permitted observations to be made with naval equipment, though more substantial and direct aid was then withheld by the Naval Research Bureau. There was an extravagance of indirect aid which was never anticipated. All right, let's keep going. This volume attempts to describe the sensational accomplishment of record since 1928, the Naval's Technical and Explorative Divisions and the Naval Research Bureau. Though the interests mentioned here were perhaps rightfully reticent of assisting in view of seemingly fantastic aspects of the physical continuum before confirmation, it was also rightful for their attitude to be resented by one who as yet had no awareness of the magnitude of his disclosure. To him they were in utmost simplicity. Therefore it may be that in the sublime, unfathomable order of things, this particular dreamer was, even against his wish, safeguarded from the dangers attending his desired stratosphere ascent and hoped for flights beyond the poles. Had he then possessed knowledge of coming events, he might not have considered it so imperative that he personally perform what he considered necessary for confirmation of his revolutionary disclosures. He's going to have to do it himself. He lacked such knowledge, and the factor of personal safety never entered his calculations. So he said, I gotta put my ass on the line. All right. He sought all possible understanding of balloon construction and operation, and he solicited the cost of balloon material for the stratosphere ascent. He was positive would develop proof for his unorthodox claims. He determined the cost of stratospheric balloon equipment from the Thompson Balloon Company of Aurora, Illinois. He received the promise of Captain Ashley C. McKinley, USN, retired, to pilot the ascent. Captain McKinley was then an aerial photographer who had been an expert naval balloonist. I mean, does this sound like play? Okay? Why do you think this book costs $500 and up? But you got the PDF, download it. Let go. Then, his earnest petition for necessary funds to procure equipment was denied by no fewer than 4 prominent millionaires to whom he had personally appealed and who had previously expressed intention to cooperate. So they kept cutting off his legs of this troop. Thus, until 1935, he persisted in forlorn endeavor to have his own stratosphere ascent financed at the Transamerica Corporation in New York City. He again met with the famous A.P. Giannini, whose problems of that time left him unreceptive to the Stratosphere Project. His devotion to the cause actuated a journey to the Chicago World Fair, where he consulted with Dr. Frank Moulton, Director of Science Division, for a stratosphere ascension to be launched from Soldiers Field. However, it developed that Commander Settle, USN, had already been assured of Chicago Daily News support for his stratosphere ascension. Therefore, the Pilgrim denied his own ascent and fully convinced that Commander Settle would not achieve sufficient altitude for photographic proof, took advantage of every opportunity to influence others who were favored by organization financing and who might be able to procure requisite confirmation. It was with such in prospect that he arranged an invitation to inspect the Army Air Corps Stratosphere Ascension's equipment at Wright Field, Dayton, Ohio, and it was there that he directed Captain Albert W. Stevens, USA, to achieve a 14-mile altitude if it was physically possible. He then knew that such altitude would be required for photographic confirmation of terrestrial skylight and the illusionary globular and isolated appearance of any sky area photographed. It is only an illusion that there is isolation between these quote-unquote planetary bodies. Everything is as connected as it is here, according to this particular theory. But if we're going to be into theories, let's research our own. Let's get into it. You want to talk theory? How about a continuum? How about a physical continuum? All right. In the case of polar expeditions, to confirm his disclosure of then unknown land extent and extending beyond both pole points, it was then considered imperative that some known explorer of polar areas be convinced of the reality of physical continuity. To that end, he determined to present the subject to Captain Sir George Hubert Wilkins, who at the time, September 1928, was about to embark upon the Antarctic expedition sponsored by the Hearst newspaper interest. Then we're going to get into that. Chapter 4, disclosing the southern land corridor into the heaven above. So it's getting juicy. So, next time, part 6, we'll go right into chapter 4. We'll break it all the way down. You know what I'm saying? Keep vibing to the ride. I'll see how far we want to take this thing. I love surfing the waves, so I hate putting a lid on things, so who knows? Who knows how far we'll take it? But I know what I want to take, as promised. I love me a little bit of this Abizaid because the confidence in both this Giannini and this Abizaid are exactly the same. They know something. They know they're being lied to. They know they've been told left is right and right is left and up is down and this and everything's a lie. A lot of these movements know that they've been lied to, but they don't know the extent. They want to hold their hijacks. They don't really want to accept all the lies, just some of them, right? We have to release ourselves of all these hijacks, man, in real time. Make this bigger. Hopefully you can see that all right. All right, I think we left off in, we did the land. Let's go to... What's this? Is this still land? Okay, yeah, we did all that. Let's go to chapter 3. It's hard to keep up with y'all, man. We are on an information superhighway, love to drive nation. Love to Lex Will, man, that has done so much, man, to activate and make people understand, man, that this is real time. You know what I mean? So support that U-Dog. Go fund me. Ah, man, it's getting juicy. Okay. Did I skip it? I'm just talking, huh? Let's see, America. What is that? Asia. Alright, well, let's just try from right here. When the sun is rising in the United States of America, it will look as though it is rising from a low place, but the people in Europe will see the sun very high over their heads about noon time. Also, the people in Asia Minor will see the sun very low in the afternoon. Do not think that there is a hollow between Asia Minor and the United States, because the sun looks low to the people in Asia and to us, USA, but high to the people in Europe. No, there is no hollow, but it is all level. For the great distance from here to the sun shows you that. And then there's a cool little diagram. You guys pull this up so you can see it a little clearer. You know, I would have to flip everything. I don't know if I could. Maybe I could rotate. Wait a minute. I could rotate. Oh. That's what I was missing. Chapter 3. Alright. Now I know where I'm at. Trying to find that diagram. Where's that diagram? Oh, there we go. So they're saying, based on law perspective, where you think the sun is either higher or lower based on it being in Asia, wherever you're looking, based on their experimentation, Abizaid, it's all level. It looks like it's higher or lower, but the sun is still level to the plane no matter where it's at. Alright. He says, you will get good proofs if you look with me closely for the sun rising and sunbeams. The sun, of course, encircles the earth. When the sun goes from here, it will be night, and from the place where it goes will be day. Now this one's flipped. I gotta flip this. Every time I flip it, they throw me somewhere, so that's what I wanted. I'm just going to try to read it sideways, man. It says, you will get, I'm reading right here, you will get good proofs if you look with me closely for the moon rising. The moon, of course, encircles the earth. When the sun comes to here, it will be day, and when the sun goes from here, it will be night. It goes from here, it'll be night. Alright, so we got a couple of diagrams. So let's get it. The meaning A, B, C, D. So all the A, B, C, and D's that you just saw in the chart, we're going to explain those. We're not just going to leave you hanging. The meaning A, B, C, D, and E of the lines of the sunbeams. in the illustration of the position of the sun. The first line of the sun being A means when you first see the sun in the morning, it seems to you the sun is rising from the low place. If you examine any shadow or your own shadow, you will see the shadows long when the sun is coming from a great distance, but when the sun comes near you, your shadow will be short. Examine the sunbeams in your own shadow, you will soon know that the sun is round, high, and in motion smaller than the earth. It moves in a circle above it. And even our perspective of things spinning as we're going into worlds beyond the pole, it might not be a circle, right? You know what I'm saying? It's just a circuit. It makes a circuit. It makes a course. It doesn't have to be a circle. B means that the AM, when the sun has come nearer to you and is shining more directly over you and you feel it warmer, your shadow is shorter and is passing over you. You will see that this is correct if you will take the time and watch it. C means midday. So we're going to go through all these. I want to get to back here and make this a little smaller. All right. Pay attention to these proofs. The first shows that the sun is very high. The second shows that the sun is smaller than the earth. For if it is larger than the earth, the people in Europe would see the sun above their heads, while the people in America would see it above their heads. If the sun was larger than the earth, the people in Europe would see the sun above their heads, while the people in America see the sun above their heads. And both at the same time. The third shows that the earth is flat and level. This is another proof to show you that the sun is going around in circles above the earth. When the sun is rising, you will never see it come straight to you, but going in a circle always to the right above your head. You will find that from the shadow of your house or the sunlight when it shines into your room, etc. I know that the sun is smaller than the earth and in motion, high and in a circle above the earth. You will know that by looking at the sunbeams. Here's good proof about the sun that everybody can try at home. Place your lamp. So, hey, if you're down this, you think you're spinning, here we go. Try this out and let me know how it goes. Place your lamp on the table and place your hand at the side of the lamp, and you will see the shadow of your hand on the wall. And if you place your hand over the lamp, you will see the shadow of your hand on the ceiling. And if you place your hand below the lamp, you will see the shadow of your hand on the floor. And if you watch the sunbeams, you will know that the sun is smaller than the earth and always in motion in a circle high above the earth. So it's completely flip-flop. Ass backwards. They want to make it some gigantic thing that's trailing us around and going at 540,000 miles per hour. And no, it's tiny. It's 32. I mean, it's tiny in comparison to the earth. All right? It was created on the fourth day. He said, let there be light a long time before that, days before that, which lets you know that there was light even before the sun. Let's go. Here's another proof to show you that the earth is flat and stationary and the sun in motion. If you can see or feel the earth turning down on one side and up on the other side, then you are right. The earth is in motion and the sun is stationary. But if you cannot see or feel this, then the earth is stationary and the sun is in motion. And if the earth is always level on every side of you, it means that the earth is flat. You don't see no tilt, wobble, unlevel, gravity, all these reasons. But gravity is a theory, not a law. So you can't keep saying gravity if it's only a theory. Don't you see the hypocrisy of that? It's like saying, yeah, but, it's cold. Why? Because it's snowing. All right, I see snow. I get it. Gravity is why I'm stuck. I don't see that. You're hypothesizing about a force that you have to believe in, a God of science. If you would take time to think, you will find out the truth for yourself. When I have shown you the way, I do not want you to believe it because I say so, but because I want to show you how things, about to make our dismount, how things are. And if you will pay attention, you will know what is right as well as I do. If the sun is stationary, we would feel the earth turning from many different things. First, the houses and posts would lean to one side with the land, and we would see one direction low and the other direction high. Again, that's a great point, because everyone sees the same horizon. You know, they look on the beach and they see everyone sees the ships go down, right, around the ball. Or is everything going lower based on your law of perspective, and it's going out of your vision, your spectrum of vision? However, everyone sees boats going down, as if on the ball everyone's going to have the same horizon. Based on your position on the ball, you might have a horizon going up, you might have a horizon going down, depending on which beach you're at and which direction you're at. Some people will have a different horizon on the ball. You don't all see ships going down. Some people will see ships going up because they're on that part of the curve. Other people are on that part of the curve, they'll see ships going down. Everyone can't see ships going down if you're on a ball. If you're on a ball, you're stuck on a ball, and it makes no sense. When you break it down, you can't escape that ball. You need curvature, and you can't all have the same horizon. If you see the land low on one side and high on the other side, then the sun is stationary. But if it's not, then the sun is in motion. If you cannot see or feel the earth turning, then it is stationary and the sun is turning. You would know from the water of the ocean that the sun is moving above it. For if the earth is turning upside down, there would be no water in the ocean. Oh, gravity theory. They say that the sun is bigger than the earth, but I found out from the sunbeams that the sun is smaller than the earth. If the sun was bigger than the earth, the people that live in Asia, the people that live in Europe, the people that live in Africa and in America would see the sun above their heads at the same time, because it's so big. They would be, we're spinning. See why they got to put you're spinning. Remember, you're spinning 1,100 miles per hour. But you don't feel it, but trust me. No, we can't show you a live feed from space. We can't show you a camera of you spinning. In 2016, you still have never seen your earth spin one time. But you want to argue with your people, your brothers. We spinning, man. Trust me. There will be noontime all over, and it will make no difference. If the earth were flat or round, we would never see the sun over our heads when the people in other countries had noontime. All right. Suppose there were 10 people under one umbrella. All right, here's our dismount. Suppose there were 10 people under one umbrella, the same size as one we use now. Do you suppose they would all see the umbrella over their heads? No, they cannot see it above their heads because the umbrella is too small to cover them all. But if they have a big umbrella, it will cover all 10 people and all would see it above their heads. If there were an umbrella as big as a town, it would cover all the people that live in the town. And all the people who live in the town would see it over their heads. And that is the way with our sun. If the sun were bigger than the earth, it would shine on the whole earth and all the people in the region. So I'm spinning. All right, well, fine. In that hemisphere, wherever that sun is hitting, all that should be shined up. Not these particular little zones and little tropical cancers and all these little circuits that the small 32-mile diameter sun is doing. And all the people of the whole earth would see it over their heads at the same time. This is a good proof from the sunbeams and the umbrella, and you will find it a good proof that the sun is smaller than the earth and in motion, and the moon and stars are all smaller in motion. The earth is flat and stationary, and I have proven it before. He's going to continue with experimentation from the water to the land to just giving you some common sense joints. So thank you guys for vibing. This has been part 4. It's been much love to you. Keep, you know, enjoying what we do. Keep vibrating with us, you know what I'm saying? It's much love to everybody. Keep getting the drop, keep getting the drop, keep getting the drop. Much love to Higher Mark, you know what I mean? Much love to the fam band. You already know what time it is. And let's see. I got a quick, you know, I always try to leave you one more thing. One more thing. As long as my, there we go, there we go. Always got one more jewel to leave you with. That's what I left you with last time, man. Oh, I know what I want to get to you. I know what I want to leave you with. Are you with me? Yeah, man. Let us just keep vibing. Let us keep surfing the wave. You know what I mean? Now that you know, you should be more relaxed than you were before. You shouldn't be spastic, flipping out, and like this ain't your playground. This ain't your energy. Alright, let's get this off the Scott. Let's get this second address. In case y'all thought I was tripping, we're going to ride this until the wheels fall off. So, if we get cut off, just know I love y'all, man. Stay up, suit up, you know what I mean? Keep choosing up. Like Arthur Scott do. Stay choosing up.
I have already sinned. I have already transgressed. Just getting off the work.
We're going to go right into it.
There's only one path lying between them. That is, between the fire and the water, so that only one man shall be disclosed. Been honored.
Hey.
All right, let's
And
go.
I will not grieve over the multitude of those who perish, for it is they who are now like a mist, and they are similar to a flame and smoke. They are set on fire and burn hotly, and are extinguished.
So
I replied and said,
this is still that address, right? So, you know, I do not grieve over the multitude of those who perish. I told you, he's only coming for the precious stones. Let's go.
O earth, what have you brought forth? If the mind is made out of the dust, like the other created things. For it would have been better if the dust itself had not been born, so that the mind might not have been made from it. But now the mind grows with us, and therefore we are tormented, because we perish.
You have to overcome your mind. That's the part of you that is not going to this happy place.